Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about the brand new Sonos Ace active noise cancelling headphones. And I would say that this has been a pretty highly anticipated pair of headphones because Sonos, when they came out, has pretty much solely been focused on speakers. But obviously it's an audio company, and I think a lot of people have been pretty curious as to what they could do with a pair of headphones. But before we really get into everything, I want to go ahead and say that there's going to be a theme to today's video, and it's all going to revolve around one number, and that number is 450, because these come in at $450, which immediately goes ahead and leapfrogs a lot of the higher tier noise canceling headphones or the more popular headphones that are out in the market right now. And the headphones I'm about to mention, all of these are sale prices right now, but this is what the Sonos Ace are up against, because right now you have the Sony XM5s on sale for $328. You even have the XM4s still coming in at $248. The Bose Ultra, which is more of a higher price noise canceling headphone right now, is on sale for $379. And then you also have the Sennheiser Momentum 4s, which a lot of people don't talk about, and I think this is one of the most underrated noise canceling headphones. Those come in at $299, and even the AirPods Max right now are on sale for $450. So you can see price-wise where the Sonos Ace is already in competition. It's at the same price right now as the AirPod Max, which is obviously a very popular headphone if you're in Apple's ecosystem. But all of those other headphones that I mentioned are really good headphones, and they all come in at a lower price, and in some cases a much lower price. Now, some of the features that the Sonos Ace has that kind of makes them stand out, or at least if you're a marketing manager, these are the features that you're pushing, is it has Bluetooth 5.4, which we don't see a lot of headphones with this yet. It has active noise canceling using 6 microphones. It does support lossless audio with a USB-C connection and also with a Bluetooth connection, which is a huge plus. It also supports spatial audio with head tracking. Now, this is just a feature, you know, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm in the category where I just feel like it's a gimmick. I don't see the huge selling point in spatial audio, especially when it comes to music. I think that's where it just kind of destroys music. So I generally don't even use this. But for movies and TV shows and stuff, it is a nice feature to have. As far as anything they've included in the box, I actually like the case that it comes with. It's a nice like felt fabric type material. It's very flat. And then once you open it up, it does have a little magnetic pouch inside. This allows you to keep the USB-C to 3.5mm cable. This is how you use these wired. And then it also comes with a USB-C to USB-C cable. This is how you charge these. And the battery life, it says you're going to get about 30 hours on a full charge, and this is with the noise canceling on. But if you pick them up and they are dead, it also has a fast charge feature where only 3 minutes of charging will give you 3 hours of use. And again, I'm always a huge fan of fast charging. It always comes in handy if you're somebody that doesn't always make sure that your headphones are charged. And then moving over to looking at the headphones themselves. Now, I am a huge fan of the design of these, but it does not fold down or break down to like a smaller footprint to put in something like a smaller case. So do keep that in mind. But the overall build, it has a polycarbonate body. It is using stainless steel, which is what runs kind of within the headband. The padding on the headband, I am gonna say this, the headphones overall do have a good amount of weight to them, so I would have liked to have seen some better padding up top. I think after a while, you know, I've started to feel some discomfort right at the top of my head, and this is generally the case with any, you know, heavy type of headphone. Now, the padding on the ear pads is using a memory foam. It's really plush, it's really soft, and you can pick up these headphones and just tell it's a very premium product. Now, one thing I am also a huge fan of is they decided to use button controls, like physical buttons, instead of touch controls. Now, touch controls may seem cool at first, but there are so many times where, you know, some headphones don't register what you're trying to do, or you're accidentally having your headphones do things you're not really getting them to do. So physical buttons always make sure that it just works pretty much 100% of the time. And I'm also a huge fan of the fact that the physical buttons allow you to control everything. Now on the left-hand side, this is where your power button and your Bluetooth pairing button is. On the right-hand side, you do have a button that allows you to switch between the noise canceling or the aware mode that they have. And then you see a button that also allows you to slide up and down. And this is the main function button. This allows you to play, pause, skip your tracks forward, go backwards, turn your volume up, turn it down, answer phone calls. Again, it allows you to do everything out of the box. Now, another nice feature is it does have the smart sensors. So if you do take your headphones off, it will automatically pause, and then it just goes back to what you were listening to once you put them back on. Now, I am going to say that you do need to use Sonos app. I had an update for mine like right out of the box, and it takes the app to actually do this. The app also has some EQ options in here, which I personally think is necessary with the Sonos Ace. I'm not the biggest fan of the way that they're tuned out of the box, so I did need to go in and just manually move some things around to get it to sound exactly the way that I wanted to. Now, also within the app, this is where you turn on the multifunction button so that you can connect to more than one device at a time. So the app, for the most part, kind of feels bare bones. They don't even have like pre-built EQ settings. They just have it where you can slide the bass up or slide the treble up or down or anything like that, or have the music go more left or more right. And really that's it. So now let's go ahead and talk about the noise canceling and the aware mode. Now, I think the noise canceling is actually pretty good, but it's not $450 good. I don't think that it has the same level of noise canceling as the AirPod Max. I don't think it has the same level of noise canceling as the Bose Ultra or the Sony XM5s, and even the Sony XM4s, which are $250. I think the noise canceling on the Sonos Ace is really good at lower tones. I think it does a good job of blocking out engine noises, AC units, anything like that. But any higher frequencies, although it does a decent amount of blocking that out, I still can hear, people talking, or TV if it's hitting like higher pitches. So that's where I feel like the Bose Ultra and the XM5s and even the XM4s block a little bit more of that out. So noise canceling is good, especially for a first attempt from Sonos on a pair of headphones. It's just not great. And same thing kind of with the aware mode. I think the aware mode does a really good job of making sure that you can hear everything around you, but it doesn't always sound as natural as the AirPod Max or even the Bose Ultra, which I think are two of the better ones when it comes to a transparency or an aware mode. So again, really good, just not $450 good. And if you're going to use these for taking phone calls, I think the mics on here, again, are decent, but not, comparable to the $450 pair of AirPod Max. But in busier environments, I still think it does a really good job of focusing in on my voice and then just blocking out a lot of the things around me. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the Sonos Ace. And overall, again, like I said, I think it's doing a really good job of picking up my voice. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is the mic test with a crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound. Now they're using custom 40mm drivers. So Sonos went in and just wanted to create something specific to how they handle their sound. I expected these to sound like a typical Sonos product. I'm a huge fan of Sonos sound for the most part, but when it comes to a pair of headphones, I like to have the control or the ability to get it to kind of sound exactly how I want to. And although the app allows you to kind of move some things around, like bump the bass up or bump the treble or whatever, I still always kind of felt like I wanted something a little bit more. And another thing that was kind of weird about this is when I took them straight out of the box and just listened to them, I was able to turn the treble up and get a pretty bright sound out of these. Where when I updated them, I didn't feel like the treble got as bright now. It felt like it kind of toned it down some. And the bass, I honestly don't feel like it was ever able to hit that like bass head level of bass before the update or after the update. Now that's with turning it all the way up. I did find a sweet spot, the way that I like to have these tuned. I'll show you that EQ setting here. And basically, that gets them to sound pretty detailed. It's bringing out mids and treble where you can hear vocalists and everything very cleanly. It's a very detailed pair of headphones. I feel like it accentuates vocals very well. It does a really good job with like acoustic instruments and strings, which in my opinion is kind of to be expected. That's something I always felt like Sonos did really well. The only thing I'm just not a huge fan of when it comes to these is the low end. I feel like the bass just lacks that overall punch. And honestly, even in genres like metal and rock, where there starts to be a lot going on, it tends to kind of get a little bit mushy. And I just did not expect that with the Sonos Ace. I expected tighter bass, or I expected something a little more precise and accurate, where I feel like these just don't shine when it comes to the low end. I think if you're a bass head wanting that subwoofer type bass, I never got it to that point. Or if you're somebody that just likes a very fast, tight, articulate bass, it never could get to that point either. I don't know what it is about them. The soundstage and the sound imaging, though, I felt like are really good on this pair. I was more of a fan of listening to these with the noise canceling off. I felt like it kind of opened it up just a little bit more to making me feel like I was in a large room. And it, again, does a really good job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. So with saying all that, my overall opinion is this. I kind of hope that these go on sale. And I would think that the sweet spot for these, in my opinion, is going to be closer to $350. Again, that $450 just, in my opinion, put it way too high. Now, from a design standpoint and from a comfort and just something that's unique and something that sounds really good and still has really good noise canceling, it does all of those things. But because it's a Sonos product and it doesn't take advantage of listening to things through Wi-Fi instead of Bluetooth, that to me is kind of puzzling because that's always kind of been their thing with their speakers. So I think they missed the mark there, or at least being able to take advantage of that or separate themselves from the other headphones. I think that would have definitely added some value to these. But I think the sweet spot is going to be for these to drop another $100 because the competition is way too good and it's from products that people are already way too used to. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Sonos Ace noise canceling headphones. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.